Guys, did you know that you could be eating foods that are destroying your sex life? Well, maybe not yet, but one day they will. So today's episode, we're going to cover the 5 big food groups that are absolutely destroying your erections silently. And even if you don't have an issue now, you will one day if you don't pay attention and start making some of these changes. They're in your fridge and you're indulging every day. I know because I talk to a lot of guys like you. Stick around because the last one is something that's going to surprise you and you wouldn't think plays a negative role on your best buddy below the belt. So let's dive right in. So what's our first food that we've got to pay attention to, guys? This shouldn't come as a surprise. It's all the fast food and fried food. We've all heard of trans fats. Well, what are trans fats? Here's the quick version. They're destroying your blood vessels. They're the bad cholesterols and saturated fats that are clogging up your blood vessels. And guess what? If your dude down there ain't getting blood, he ain't getting hard. And so that is one that we've really got to limit, especially if you're going to go out and, eat those foods. And listen, I get it. I'm down here in Nashville. I love me some fried chicken. And so what are some actionable tips? Well, number one, just use it as an indulgence once or twice a month. You can't be eating the fried chicken every week or every day. Just go, you know what? Once a month, I'm going to go enjoy this and then eat healthy the other 80, 90% of the time. Second, I'm really loving my air fryer. I'm telling you, that gets a great crisp on a lot of things with minimal oil. It's like a little convection oven. Plus, it's super easy to clean, so you're not messing up your kitchen rather than oil splattering all over the place. So those are 2 ways I have found to still enjoy that savoriness and crunchiness of fried food without sacrificing my performance in the bedroom and my future health. But even if you're avoiding fried foods, there's something else you're doing that is completely sabotaging your erections. Guys, are you struggling with performance now? Listen, you're not alone. By the time you hit age 50, 50% of us are going to struggle with erections. And sometimes the little blue pill in the online pharmacies aren't enough. They're not getting you the answers you're looking for. You're looking for more natural options. Well, at Pazona MD, we're the ED experts. We help counsel guys to identify the root cause of any troubles in the bedroom. And then we offer everything from natural sound wave therapies to supplements to things beyond the little blue pill that you can't get online at those pharmacies. So go down the description, click the link, book a discovery call with us and see if you'd be a good fit to partner with us to get you performing again in the bedroom. Now let's get back to the show. You guessed it. It's sugar. We've talked about this a ton on Balls Deep. Sugar spikes your insulin. Sugar, when there's excess, turns into fat. And all of these things, whether it leads to diabetes or excess weight, whatever it may be as the downstream effect, is going to hurt your erections. So not only that, as you get a bigger waistline because of all this sugar, your penis gets smaller, and no guy can afford to lose some inches, myself included. And, men with diabetes are 3 times more likely to suffer with ED, and the rates of type 2 diabetes are exploding in this country. So we got to really limit that sugar. So what are some ways that, I find when I get that sugar craving? Number one is just portion out a small piece of something. Like yesterday, I had a really healthy lunch and I was like, I'm really craving something sweet. So I took 1 square of some dark chocolate and I ate it. It was 60 calories, guilt-free. It scratched that itch. I had it with a little cup of coffee as well, and it felt like dessert. So just give yourself little treats. Also work in some more fruits. I've really been getting into, especially this past summer, awesome peaches and watermelon. And in the fall here, we're going to hit some apples. So, your body's craving that sweetness. So just give it to it in a more healthy way. But even if sugar's not your problem, like I know it's not for a lot of you guys, there's something else that you got to really start paying attention to if you want to protect your erections. Guys, I hate to tell you, but the booze isn't helping you. It is amazing how often people come and see us at Pazona MD and go, Doc, I eat healthy, I work out. And then I get into how much they drink on a daily basis, and I am blown away. It is not okay to have 2 to 3 drinks a day and think you're being healthy. You're just not. We've got to start treating booze like what it is. It's a toxin. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good Manhattan, a nice glass of red wine, a cold beer with a burger. But I've made a deal with myself that I don't drink more than 1 or 2 times a week. And when I do, I'm not going to have more than 2 drinks in a day. And so you got to really keep that total drink under 7 per week at a minimum. because not only can alcohol grow your waistline and as hidden calories, but also destroys your sleep. And we've covered in other episodes how important sleep is for recouping your body, for keeping your hormones optimized. And so chronic sleep deprivation is huge. And a lot of that is tied to drinking too much, especially in the evening. So let's say you're avoiding the fast food, the sugar, and the booze. There's still something else you got to be mindful of when you're thinking about maintaining your erections. Most guys don't realize that ham sandwich and the bacon in the morning, yeah, they're high in protein, but they're also high in fat, sodium, nitrates, and preservatives. And all of those things can potentially bump up your blood pressure, and high blood pressure is one of the main risk factors for ED. Never mind all the chemicals that are in a lot of these preserved foods. So again, I'm an Italian from New York. I love a good antipasti tray with some salami and some cheese. Again, you just want to kind of limit it here, guys, and don't use it as your primary source of protein. So you should really be looking at chicken breast, pork tenderloin, fish, tofu, even some eggs. I'd rather see that than see a lot of salami and bacon and a lot of these preserved foods because of the added nitrates, the sodium, and just all the other preservatives that are in there. And also, it's even linked to potential colon cancer. And trust me, no guy likes having a scope put up their bottom, never mind to find polyps, because then you got to do it more often. So just a little tip there that should also make a difference. But let's finally dive into our final food that is absolutely destroying your erections. Energy drinks. Now, for some of you, that could just be a good old-fashioned Mountain Dew, or it could be one of these new fancy ones that I can't keep up with. But when you combine caffeine plus sugar, you are just raising cortisol levels, you're getting your adrenaline levels kicked up, and you're just amping up your entire body. And not only that, you're causing the sleep disturbance later on just as much as the booze is. So you have to be mindful that anytime you take that energy drink and take any caffeine, that it's going to be about 7 hours before that caffeine, at least 50% of it is out of your system. So that afternoon energy drink is destroying your sleep, destroying your hormones. Plus you throw in the sugar, which we've already talked about. And it's just this killer combo that, especially a lot of you young guys don't realize, is not helping your performance. So that fix for when you're feeling down in the afternoon, it's get out and go for a walk, move your body. And if you're really tired, take a little power nap. That is so much better and more restorative than thinking you got to power through and take that energy drink, because that caffeine plus sugar is a deadly combo. Energy drinks, they're destroying your hormones, they're destroying your blood flow, they're destroying it all. So let's wrap up what we've learned today so we can keep that blood flowing down to your body. Guys, here's the bottom line. If it destroys your hormones or it destroys your circulation, it's going to destroy your sex life. Listen, I get it. I enjoy a lot of these things myself. The key is finding those moments to enjoy what you truly enjoy in that moment and then move on from it. And 80% of the time, make those good food choices. When you fill your fridge with good whole foods, then you're not as inclined to go and grab these easy snacks here. Because listen, I've yet to meet a guy who wants to do anything that's going to affect their performance in the bedroom. Hey guys, I hope you found that helpful. Please hit that subscribe button so as soon as our next episode of Balls Deep drops, you'll find out about it so you get more actionable tips to optimize your performance. And until next time, show yourself a little bit more love and kindness. We're all works in progress and these are opportunities to grow. Thanks and have an awesome day.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Balls Deep. If you'd like to join our stream team of listeners, please click the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. For more information about our practice, Pazona MD, please visit PazonaMD.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and the content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. The show does not constitute the practice of medicine. No doctor-patient relationship is formed through this podcast or any of the social media channels related to this show. The use of this information is at the user's own risk. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.